For this second partial, I read the book by Klaus Schwab. He was born in Ravensburg, Germany in 1938, and he is founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. This forum is an international organization for public and private cooperation. In other words, this forum try to combine the public and the private sector. And he founded the forum in 1971, the same year in which he published the Modern Enterprises Management in Mechanical Engineering. In that book, he argued that the management of a modern enterprise must serve not only to shareholders, but all stakeholders to achieve a long-term growth and prosperity to the economy in the world. And an engineer and economist by training, the Professor Klaus holds doctorates in economics from the University of Fribourg, in engineering from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, and a master's in public administration from the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University. In 1972, he became one of the youngest professors on the faculty of the University of Geneva. As we can see, the Professor Schwab is a man who not only knows about economics, but also he has a lot of knowledge of engineering, and in my opinion, this is a reason that all the things that he mentions in the book have more value, because he really knows the impact that the fourth revolution is having not only in the industries around the world, but also in the world economy. In the first part of the book, the author begins to describe the concept of the fourth industrial revolution, and he mentions that the word revolutions denotate a broad and a radical change. Commonly, or the most common idea that the people have about the war revolution is like a fight or like a war or something like that. But this mean or this concept of revolution is deeper that only a war or a fight. And when talking about the industrial revolutions, from the one to the fourth, the image of the role that steam had in the first revolution always come to my mind, because something as simple as the steam engine was the cause that industries and the forms of transport changed drastically. Because in the past, the people have to move around on horses or in sailboats or 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 walking in the past wars. I think the Romans had specific soldiers that walking a lot of kilometers to give some message or something like that, and products were made by hand and took a lot of time to make these products. One example of this situation is the textile industry. The clothes was made by hand from the people, but with the implementation of the steam engine or the steam industry, these clouds were made in base of this type of system, in the steam system, and the time that this type of engines created a cloud, it was very short in comparison with the cloud made by hand. So this situation is happening today with the fourth revolution. Industries are leaving manual machines behind, and automated machines are being used more and more. However, in my opinion, we are still a long way or a long time from being replaced by robots, because in some sectors of the industry, especially in manufacturing industry or in the manufacturing sector, the finish of the manufactured parts, or the finish or the surface of the parts that this type of industry is elaborated, it's very important, because the surface must to have some details, or must to have some some details that existing automated machines have. These type of machines are not capable to produce the same finish that an experienced worker can produce on this part. So I think it's necessary to continue with these workers, with these human workers, to produce this type of parts. So in the second part, so I think this is more important, that or one of the principal ideas that we must to consider it when we talk about the fourth revolution, or the topic, or the idea to be replaced by robots. In the second part of the book, the German author mentions that mentions some sectors that will be, or that already are, important drivers of this fourth industrial transformation. Schwab explains them like megatrends, and mentions that all new developments and technologies have one key feature in common. They, they leverage the processing power of the digitalizations and information technology. The technologies that he mentioned in the book are physical, digital, and biological. As a mechanical engineering student, I became more interested in physical technologies, especially in autonomous cars and in the new development materials. The technologies mentioned in or these technologies that mentioned like physical technologies uh, are very interesting for me, because on the subject of electrical cars, it is inevitable that in not as distant future, the streets will be full of this type of transport. Companies like Tesla, Ford, Toyota, I think I think Chevrolet have uh, have electrical cars yet. So I think the major part of the cars industry development or designed some electrical cars, and the rest of the companies, I think the rest of the companies are designing in this moment an electrical car, because this sector is one of the clearest future, or the clearest idea in a new future about the transportation sector. So I think this is the yeah, this is the future of the transportation, and one of the greatest advantage of this type of cars is not only electrical cars, autonomous cars. I'm sorry, I forget to mention that. Not only electrical cars. I think BMW have an autonomous cars, I think, but Tesla have an autopilot mode. So not only electrical cars, autonomous cars too. So I think one of greatest advantage of these autonomous cars or cars driven by the software is that this software or these cars does not fall asleep. It will not have a drunk driver and will not be distracted because the driver is texting to in WhatsApp or in the phone while he is driving, or he or she is driving. And for this reason, I think that the use of this type of driving systems or this type of cars or autonomous cars will reduce the car accidents in big levels or great levels. And for this reason, I am in favor in the development of this type of technology because in the world, a lot of deaths, a lot of accidents are caused by drivers that they are drunk or they are distracted in the cell phone while they are driving or something like that. So with this software or these systems of autonomous cars, this type of accidents will be to reduce the numbers of deaths in the world. So for this reason, finally, in the third and last part of the book, the author mentions the consequences that the fourth industrial revolution or industrial transformation will bring to our economy and society. For me, or in my opinion, with the development of technologies mentioned above, the, yeah, with this type of technologies, the autonomous cars and the new materials in specific, or in my case, in specific, the autonomous cars and the new intelligent materials, the world economy will benefit because some industries will be able to optimize their times and production costs. And in addition, they will be able to offer new products that will help to the society in various tasks and in various aspects of their life. However, one of the sectors that will be affected by this revolution will be the jobs or the jobs, because most jobs, except that I mentioned it above, the manufacturing, especially in specific in the manufacturing sectors, will be able to be replaced by a machine that can not only get the job done in less time, but also save some data to do an analysis an analysis of this process or of these actions, and on this type of machines with the new implementation of big data, these type of machines will be able to optimize the performance or optimize the time or the cost or some aspects that or some aspects of this action or of this production action. So This job replacement will affect the middle class, since economy growth will be, or yeah, was well, yeah, well, this job replacement will affect the middle class, and the middle class is a major part of the population. It only we must to remember that only the 1% of the populations controls the world economy, or only the 1% of the populations are multimillionaire. So the middle class are the major part of the population, and if these replacement actions will affect the middle class, in other words, all the world, or the major part of the population will be affected. So I think this implementation of the new systems, of the new technologies in the four industrial transformations have benefits, but we we must to forget the the force that the people or the populations have in a society and in economy. So I think we must to be in a equilibrium between the replacement by machines and continue with human workers, because it's necessary the implementation of the new machines, but don't forget the human force. So I think this is the most important thing in like a conclusion of this topic, and like a conclusion of this book.